Hello, urban America. This is task 1, and this is actually one of the most important videos that you can watch to prepare for the midterm, which is on the 19th, Thursday, the 19th of October. So pay attention. I will post this and give you the tools you need to succeed on the midterm. So let's see if this PowerPoint is showing up. Hopefully you are seeing the display of the PowerPoint as the main thing on your screen. So the midterm is structured in 2 parts, and for both the Evolution of American Urban Society textbook, chapters 1 through 5, and the Devil in the White City special reading PDF, parts 1 and 2, which we will be discussing in person next Thursday at 7 p.m. So that reading is important for you to show up next week and have something to say, but also it will be featured in the review sheet in the midterm exam, and it's an important extra piece of reading. So you show up, you have approximately 1 hour to work. I give you up to an hour and a half if you really want to take your time and go slow and get it all down on the page. Those of you who have had me before, you're familiar with this structure, but the majority of the class has never had a Professor White class. So I need to go through carefully and slowly, and you can, if you dare, you can fast forward a little bit if you've had me for like 2 different history electives already. But if you can endure hearing this again, please just watch and listen. Especially if you're new, this is for you. I structure my exams in 2 parts. The first part is called ID and significance, and this is the major bulk of your points. It is very important that you understand the difference between ID and significance, and I'll explain that. I should also note that it is choose 4 of 6. So what happens is you get a review sheet. At the very latest, it will be 1 week before the exam, hopefully a little bit earlier than that. And on that review sheet are the bolded key terms from the textbook, from our class sessions, from our online sessions, and they will be very clear. I will give you page numbers from the textbook, and it should be crystal clear to you what you're expected to know about these bolded review terms. So you study them. There'll be approximately 30 terms spread out over chapters 1 through 5, with also a few from the Devil in the White City. You're preparing your terms, you're studying them, and when you get to the exam, it is choose 4 of 6. So I put 6 of those bad boys on the exam at the top. And you come in and you look at the 6 and you decide which 4 you like the best, which 4 you know the best. You choose those 4 and you begin to work. This is what you will do for each of your chosen 4. First, you will identify the term. This is the ID part. It is factual, it is straightforward, where you provide information and explain what happened. I should, as a note of caution, say that every once in a while I get a student who takes the review sheet and just goes to Google, and just goes to town. Just Google gone wild. They're just adding in all this random information. And so I'll be reading about colonial Boston in the ID, and it'll be like, colonial Boston had 7 buildings of 3 stories with an attic. And I'll be like, that's weird. I never said that in class. Textbook doesn't say that. It's clearly a random factoid from the interwebs. So instead of going to Google, go to the textbook. That's why I give you the page numbers. Go to the Devil in the White City and go to the PDFs. Go to these videos to understand the important information, the ID that I want from you for each of the terms. So you should be able to explain what it is very concisely in the ID. Then in the significance section, you're going to have a totally different way of thinking. So let me go back to the video. I don't know if that PowerPoint section meant that you were unable to see my face, but since we're doing significance, I want to really look at you, and I want to get up in your grill. And I want to make you understand that the significance is very important and you need to be making a bold argument. So what I mean here is you need to argue why it matters. You're dealing with a term of history, and you need to be very aggressive about making a statement of why it matters. You can even begin your sentences, this matters because. This was a big deal because. This towered in American urban history because. It is often the case that we're getting historical firsts. The first time something happened, the last time, the biggest, the baddest, the deadliest. There are incidents and people and places in American urban history that are very important, sometimes setting up a model for centuries to come. So when you make your statement of significance, you should be making an argument. It's almost like a mini thesis. Why does this matter? And that's a very important way to think about your material. And as you go through 4 times, you do ID and significance, ID and significance. Each time you're asked to write a statement of significance, I want you to be very dramatic, be very bold, and talk about the grand sweep of American history and why this matters. It is requiring you to do a little bit more critical thinking on your end, but it's very important because this is not just a memorization class. You need to analyze the term and make a bold statement of significance. That's why it weighs to 80 points. This is why the ID and significance is such a big part of the exam. And then when you finish that, save a little bit of time for your short essay. The short essays, I will give you 2 writing prompts, each of them very thematic. They will deal with a long-standing issue of the course, such as the rise of commerce in colonial cities, the commerce that was alive in the days of Native American cities. It also took Boston from a highly Puritan religious city into a more secular city that had tensions between the church and merchants. That's the kind of theme that the short essays would have. Maybe it'll be about harbors. That's a good one, actually. I might write that down. Harbors are a big theme of the first few chapters because we don't have railroads, we don't have major canals yet. So maybe the importance of different harbors and comparing the cities in America would be a good way to organize an essay. So I'll give you 2 prompts. Choose your favorite. What I will also do as a favor to you to make sure that this is a fair level of rigor is that I will put in some of the key terms from the review sheet into the short essays. So you see these bolded terms kind of peppered in there, and I'll give you hints and clues about what to write about, what examples to use to develop your essay. So this is worth 20 points. You would fill about a page, depending on how big your handwriting is. And then at the very end, this is the fun part for me, I have you write your name. This is the very, very last page of the exam. When I see you next Thursday at 7 p.m., I'll hand out the exams. Oh my God, no, on the 19th, sorry, didn't mean to frighten you. When I see you on the 19th at 7 p.m. of October, I'll hand out the exams and I'll immediately have you turn them over and write your name on the very back. This is important because I need you to understand that you are earning your grade. Your grade is all about what's on that page. I don't know who I'm grading. I'm giving out points. I flip it over. I'm like, oh, look at that. This student got this grade. So know that it's all about your studying and your achievement and your performance. I'm very glad to offer that to you because it's a very pure, unbiased way to do grading. Another note about the midterm, it is absolutely my goal to return the midterms within 1 week or at least email you your score. What I do is I handwrite your feedback. I give you pointers on how to make your significance stronger, on how to make your ID stronger, or how to make your essay stronger. So it takes a long time. Unless IT is watching this, I could say a long ass time. It takes a while, so I will really hope to give you the midterms back 1 week after you take them. We'll see. We'll see how I do with that. So that is the midterm exam structure, the midterm review. I hope that's clear. You can rewatch this as many times as you want. I hope that you are keeping up with your reading, and now that you know the score, you have until October 19th. So finish this video. You have now completed task 1. Congratulations. Bye-bye.